Hello to you and welcome back. And I'm here with some updates. Of course, leading the story today, we know that the princes William and Harry today mounted a silent vigil over the coffin of their late grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, on Saturday, and it was filled with poignant moments. It was historic to see the two brothers joined by their six cousins forming the vigil at Westminster Hall in central London. So this came a night after their own father, King Charles, joined by his three siblings, took part in a similar tribute. So it was wonderful to see. We have Prince William and his brother Harry, who, even though they have grown apart in recent years, appeared together, united in this moment, and they both stepped out in military uniform. So it was a solemn moment and something so special for Prince Harry, who has served 2 tours of duty with the British Army in Afghanistan and finally given the chance to honor his grandmother, the Queen, and his commander-in-chief in a moment where he got to wear his military attire. So there they were at the oak casket, stood on the purple-clad catafalque, draped in the royal standard, with a crown placed on top. Deeply moving to see Prince Harry in his military garb, a special mark of respect for the Queen. And it was so evident, the emotion on the faces of those present, starting, of course, with those who were taking part in this vigil. So we saw Prince William at the head and the Duke of Sussex at the foot of the Queen's coffin, and their cousins, Zara Tyndall and Peter Phillips, were in attendance as well, and Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, as well as Lady Louise and Viscount Severn as well. They were dressed in mourning coats and dark formal dress with their decorations. What a somber and historical moment that was on so many levels, with so many facets. Seeing, of course, first of all, Prince William and Harry, and knowing the background of all that they have gone through and standing there at that moment, as well as their cousins. It was a deeply emotional moment, not only for them, but those who were taking part in the procession of viewing the Queen lying in state, for them to take in that moment. I'm sure that they will never forget that. It will go down in the books. And what an image that was, seeing all of the Queen's grandchildren there, just attending that moment. And as we consider the relationships that they all had with the Queen, for the world, she was a queen, but as Prince Harry said over and over again, that she was granny to him. And I've been going through a lot of footage, seeing the relationship that especially Prince Harry had with her, and he called her granny, and they had an informal way about them. And as Prince Harry said, they could talk about things with each other that couldn't be talked about with others. So he had that special relationship with her. And talking about all their other relationships, like for example, Zara Tyndall, who was close to her grandmother, shared a love of horses and riding, and just talking about all the moments that they had with her, and of course Beatrice and Eugenie, all their memories with the Queen, all the times that they spent with her at Balmoral, and all the lessons that she has imparted to them. And you can just imagine all that was going through their minds. Talking about it is actually making me emotional. So once again, for the Duke of Sussex, with all that he has gone through in this time, it has just been a very emotional roller coaster for him, and we will be getting more into that in a while. But just focusing on this moment, Prince Harry, as we know, had been in civilian dress with his medals during the first event where they walked behind the Queen's coffin on Wednesday. He had been denied the opportunity to wear his military uniform, and that was a source of a lot of consternation on so many platforms, people just voicing their dissent, because as we know, Prince Harry, he is a war veteran who served on the front line for his nation, very enthusiastically, and he has been a champion through Invictus Games for the veteran community. And he was expected just a couple of days ago to continue on throughout all the events without ever donning his military uniform. But in a change of plans, as the processions continue, the Duke of Sussex, who as well celebrated his 38th birthday on Thursday, was given special permission to wear his military uniform at the king's request, in quotes. and that was said by a palace official. So as we know, Prince Harry was forced to relinquish his honorary military titles after he and Meghan stepped back from being senior working members of the royal family. And this must have been such a special one for Prince Harry because he never expected to ever get the chance to once again wear his military uniform. So this is the first time in 2.5 years that the Duke of Sussex has donned this finery, and it was just a sudden change of plans. And of course, a lot of people have been speculating as to why. We all know that iconic image of them processing behind the Queen's coffin and Prince Harry just stood out, and that moment has been talked about, it has been memed, and most of all, a lot of people captioned the fact that it showed the pettiness of the royal family towards Prince Harry at this time when they are all supposed to be mourning. And it was just a moment where I think a lot of people who are behind the scenes thought about it, if we're going to be quite honest, and the backlash was just so strong for Prince Harry, who is a war veteran, who served his country on the front line, so brave, and yet, you know, he was being equated with other members of the family who have tarnished their own image as well as the image of, quote, the firm. So people wondered why Prince Harry was being treated in such a way that was so dishonorable to the veteran community. So you could see it on Prince Harry's face, the solemnity of the moment, and how he had said that he was prepared to wear whatever he was asked because he wanted the focus to remain on his grandmother. But you can know that for him who has military rank, who has served at this ceremonial event for him and getting to honor her wearing his military uniform, it just meant so much. So that vigil was there as he and his brother, Prince William, led the charge of their first cousins standing at the opposite ends of their grandmother's coffin in the hall. And in a way, it was once again a military service of sort to the Queen, to his monarch, to his commander-in-chief. And what a moment to see Prince Harry. It just makes so many of us well up with emotion. This is a man who went on the front line and who served his country for 10 years, who served his commander-in-chief, and given this chance to, give his grandmother that send-off that a soldier can give. Truly, you can sense it as well with all of the military community, those participating and who have participated so far in every ceremonial event concerning the Queen. They know the momentous impact of this time that they have been given that opportunity to honor her in uniform, and it resonates with that community, all of them who serve as well as who have served, once served, always serving. So what a blessing for Prince Harry. We remember the last time we saw him wear military uniform was to the Mountbatten Music Festival at the Royal Albert Hall in London. That was in March 2020, and then he was serving as the Captain General of the Royal Marines, and we saw him there in, dapper in his finery, dressed in the scarlet red dress jacket and full of the regalia. And something that we can harken back to on that day, you could see it weighed on him heavily, having to give up those honorary military titles, which were, by the way, Captain General of the Royal Marines, Honorary Air Force Commandant of the RAF Huntington, and Commodore-in-Chief, Small Ships and Diving, Royal Naval Command. And you could sense the respect that the military community had for him, even on that day as he had stepped back. And we've now learned as things have gone by that there was quite a lot of moving parts against him there in the firm. We've learned about the opposition that he and Meghan faced, and the reasoning why he had to step back. And it was Prince Harry's decision. He has been behind the scenes. He knows how it all works. And he said he did not want to see Meghan going through what his mother went through. So we respect his decision, and those in the military community as well respect his decision. This is a man who has defended his country, and it didn't stop there. He's willing to defend his wife and his children if he needs to. All that to say that this is a soldier at heart, and he has so many beautiful memories with his grandmother, especially when you think back to that short clip that they had with Invictus Games where they were egging on the US team and the president, at that time, President Barack Obama and Michelle, that banter that was between them. he's never lost that inner child, and I love that about Prince Harry. A lot of humility. So that moment, seeing them there in military attire, standing there, honoring his grandmother for a final time with such a soldier's send-off, it just is so wonderful, and I'm sure he is forever grateful for the chance to have to do that. It was such an honor for him to stand vigil with, his cousins and his brother at that time. And yeah, as I said before, such an emotional moment. And I'm sure it's such an honor for him to represent himself there as a soldier and to commemorate his grandmother. And we harken back to all their statements, Prince William and Harry's statements concerning what their grandmother meant to them. So it's a momentous occasion. So I'm sure that this is a memory that will last them forever in their hearts, in the meaningfulness of what has happened. We both know that both the brothers released their own statements sharing how much their relationship with their grandmother meant to them and to people all over the world in their emotional tributes. So yes, I'm sure Prince Harry is going to treasure that moment to do that, and as well as all their cousins and his brother as well. And what a moment for those who, as I said before, were able to witness them at that exact time as they participated in that vigil. And you know what? You could tell that they are keeping poised and keeping their emotions at bay. And it is very poignant as you imagine all of their relationships with their grandmother and the fact that they have to keep poise in such a moment and hold back the emotions that could just so easily flow out as they think back on all their times with her. And I'm so glad that they have the comfort of those around them who love them, that they can just talk through all their emotions after that solemn moment, because of course there must have been a flood of emotions and thoughts going through their minds as they just had to keep poise and pay their respects in that way. So I'm just glad that they have each other. And a lot of you pointed out the fact that Prince Harry has such a good relationship with Eugenie, and it was good to see them right there by each other. I'm sure that they were such a comfort to each other during the moments before and after, and especially leaning on their own spouses. I know a lot of you were wondering why Meghan and Kate were not present there. But according to reports, only the grandchildren of the Queen were asked to participate in the vigil, and the family decided that the grandchildren would appear without their partners. So that's why Meghan and Kate were at their homes in Windsor. So I'm sure that they are going to be there for them and talk through the emotions with them and comfort them. So what a moment, not only for them, but for the thousands of people who have been queuing up to pay their respects to the Queen, and those who in the queue who got a chance to walk through the hall as this was all taking place in that steady and solemn stream after queuing for hours. What a moment for them to witness such an outstanding historical occasion by seeing all the Queen's grandchildren at that vigil as well. So they'll have a story to tell after that too. So many moments, so many moving moments, and I want to know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. So thank you all for watching. Thank you to those who like, comment, and share, and a special thank you to those who support this channel, my Patreon, PayPal, and membership supporters. Today I want to give a special shout out to new supporters of this channel here on YouTube, members and Patreon supporters. So I want to start off with thanking Denise Grayson, who's chosen to be a member here on YouTube. Thank you so very much. Welcome to the membership community here on YouTube. I appreciate you so very much. God bless you. Thank you to Lala, who has chosen to be a Patreon supporter. Thank you so very much and welcome. And thank you to Rock Yuppie as well, a new supporter here on Patreon. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And thank you to Sagan Ajos. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Welcome, and I'm so appreciative of you choosing to be a member here on YouTube. Thank you so very much. So I want to welcome you all and thank you so very much for choosing to believe in my work here on YouTube. I appreciate you so much. And of course, a special thank you to those who have supported this channel. I want to give a special thank you to two of you. Thank you to you right now. To Bunny, who has been a supporter here on this channel for so long. I appreciate and love you so very much, Bunny. And thank you right now to Anna M. Jackson. thank you so very much. Another long time supporter. God bless you and I love you. So once again, leave all your thoughts below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let the algorithm know you enjoyed what you watched. Share your thoughts in the comment section. And once again, thank you all for watching. Leave your comments below and I will catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.